Hello. Hello, everybody. How on a day? Welcome to another edition of the Bird's Eye View, BEV. Today's topic now demystifying the system. Now which would they do normally? Now which I don't they do since. But today we'll just go. We'll talk about institutions. To help us understand the role what they play for our own issues for here. So yeah, let's go. But before we start, real quick, let me touch on some little things where I notice. I've been getting conversation with one older citizen, and although a very interesting conversation, we use them discuss in the belief say I'm not supposed to talk about imperialism too much, say imperialism time don't pass and things like that. A lot of people get that position. Even if I post some things when I discuss how foreign interests they damage our local politics and local economics for here, many people go say Africa problem is Africa. So now Africa they cause the problem, Africans they cause the but you see, yes, Africans involved, but we cannot deny the involvement of outside forces. So what do I mean? What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? For example, let's imagine the mafia, right? Say the mafia they exist. Mafias get enforcers. If you be done for mafia, if you be mafia done, fit. Not be go they commit crime now. Not be go they slap person. Not be go keep person. Not be go rob. Now your boys go do them. Now your boys go definitely do all that one. You go just day for your own side. They do it in. So yeah. So now imagine if police people won't go arrest this enforcer. Say they go stop their investigation for the enforcer of the mafia done. They go share them. I'm not sure they go fit do that one now. So as they catch the enforcer, they catch the don too. So when I talk of imperialism, then let them be the don. Let them be the mafia don. All these are politicians. What did them be? Them be the boys, the enforcers. So if we're talking about the enforcers, we don't fit stop there. We must link the crime to the don. So that's why we talk about imperialism. Not because we don't say Africans themselves they fuck up for the matter. We know that for a fact. But we also know say they get dons where they enforce for. And we must talk about those ones. So, waiting else? What else? Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm sure I want to discuss with that first before we go on. So, what I mean by demystifying the system, I'll start from here. I'll start from basics. Let's start from basics. For every society now relationship between institutions and citizens, meaning the government and the citizens. Also, society, that's when I society, because it gets social construct. The social construct, we say we the ones we they come for back. The young people, the younger ones, must believe, say the older ones, they set them up for greatness. You understand? We must trust in the older generation. See, then they do what they need to do to make sure, say, when we self grow, we can achieve greatness. Make I yab this bond MMM guy. Make I yab this bond MMM guy. When I see this bond MMM, when they come from water park, so I mean, when I small that time, all my friends big well. Now only big boys and they follow, you know, people way old past me. That's why now if you see me, all my friends they be Agba. All of them be Agba. They don't old, they be 45, 50. Because when we small, I go yab you, born, now you start the matter. So I must yab you. I must tell the world the true story of what happened that day. So as when they come back, now one of my friends, I can never forget his name, like Yinka Oshidele. Come see this guy's sister. Come cross road, go meet the girl, go press the girl breast. The girl come call him brother call. When this Mr. Brother call land now, he can't look all of us when they there. He don't beat anybody. All of those when they will kill, they go share. He just come meet the people and don't do anything. Because I be small pass. He don't say I just small for size. I big girl. He just give me slap. Pow. As he give me the slap, my friends come, they say, Shehu, don't beat her, Shehu, don't. I say, no, don't worry. I just was going to tell my dad. Which kind of lie? Now waiting happened exactly with that. I can never forget that day. I was with Yinka Oshidele, and then with Adayo, Obina, Actor, and myself. Now I go bring the people let me deal with and where. Some of the Egbon they come outside. Now those ones, now the first deal with. Before they come carry out, we carry out go Kalakuta. The guy they shake. And Bobby I say for that to go do amenity. You know that time. But I just show I say, maybe they try up issue. Now you can't Oshidele cause other wahala that day. Anyway. Anyway, back in the day. Oh, but this thing happened, I still be like 9 years old though. I still be like 9 years old that time. Why they lie? We deal with you now. We carry you like this, your leg don't touch ground. Oh, they sack on your head, go Kalakuta that day. You know they sack on your head. You know that sign don't day air. You know they toss pay am. You know they toss pay am. Anyway. So let's go on. So now this relationship between us and our elders, we and our elders also get trust. Just the way inside our houses, we must get trust between parents. We must believe, say, the parents are doing the best for their children. Now, so society is based. That's why society is based on that kind of trust. Say government like the parents, we the citizens are the children, the government is doing what is necessary for we the children. You know that standard kind of thing. So the system is based on that. Now everything when they happen within our system, they based on this fact, they based on this trust. Trust of citizens. Instagram no studies their wahala today because my network is bad. Okay, so now let's start with educational system. When I yab Awolowo for one speech where I give, they post the speech. Many people they vex say I yab Awolowo for the speech. Say Awolowo na just for him power, but not true. If you read the man moves, They say person will give free education. First of all, nobody give us anything. African people, let me tell you, nobody gives you anything. Let me repeat, Awolowo no na him pay, na him money take do am. Is it his money? Why don't they say Awolowo give us free education? We give ourselves free education through our government. Our government is our own. Awolowo now we vote for and put for the government, making them do wetin in need to do to give education na the basic work of government. Now, what you go ask say, which kind of education? Education where they tell us say na Mungo Park discover River Niger. See, when we now the kind of thing they teach for the school now matter. Not be say they create the system and build the schools. Waiting them begin teach us inside the school. You understand? Waiting them teach us inside the school. This is what matters, basically. It's not about them building the edifice or all this building they build everywhere. So anyway, we can go back to what they talk. So we must believe, say, our educational system, which now we as young people, our first interaction with society outside of the family unit is that of education. You understand? It's that of education. So education, now our first encounter with the system. Education, now where we're supposed to trust our teacher, say that they teach us what is right. Non-biased. The teacher must not be biased towards the student. Okay, even though this student is not the year one, this student they give, the teacher must not be biased. Do you feel what I'm saying? But who want them to say for this Nigeria, you know, go through biased education? Say what teacher just like you because maybe you know the year word to them. Maybe because you just do your own. Me, many teachers don't like me because I be fella picking for school. So what's my eyes see, eh? Cha! Cha! Chai! What's my eyes see? So anyway, breaking it down further, you know, understanding the system means say make we know they believe wetin they say the institution they do. Wetin them say the institution they do. Our education is supposed to educate us. You understand? But the educational system is siding with more with indoctrination than education. They side more with indoctrination than education. So you see the trust between us and the institutions is completely broken. I always tell people, even if you go for bank, even in our banking system, in all the institutions, in our relations with security forces, our defense, our institutions of war, our institutions of defense, where we citizens create to protect us, waiting will they get there in return. Fashola announced housing yesterday. Say government get 5,000 units of housing to sell to us. 1 bedroom apartment for this our federal government building for the people, for we the people. Federal government, 1 bedroom apartment is going for 7.3 million. Minimum wage is 30,000. Exactly, thank you. Many states never even agree to pay this 30,000 minimum wage. In fact, for inside the state where they don't agree to pay this minimum wage, many businesses are still paying people 20,000, 25,000, 23,000, 14,000. People they earn 15,000 for inside this Lagos. So now let's do the mathematics. 30 times 12. In a year, the minimum wage earner makes 360,000. In a year, the minimum wage earner makes 360,000. One bedroom flat is 7.4 million. Let us work out. Even though he no chop. So now chop, bath, enter transport, watch TV, go club, drink beer, do anything for your life, pay children's school fees, send him wife, do anything. He take all the salary, they pay for this house. Let us see how long it will take him to pay 7.4 million naira. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our Minister of Housing, our brilliant and fascinating, a lawyer, a barrister of high repute, intellectual. We create us, so let's see, after he doing, because I'm not saying go calculate them, he no be mugu. He must calculate all these things, times divided by 360,000. 20.5 years. It will take the guy 20.5 years to pay for this 1-bedroom apartment. 1 bedroom, oh. 20.5 years. To pay for 1-bedroom apartment. Yes. So there we go. But we not say he must chop. He must enter transport. So when I'm telling you about demystifying the system, this is not what I mean. So how does somebody that is earning minimum wage ever look to earn that apartment? He must become a criminal. He must become a criminal. He must begin to rob that business where in the work inside. This is how they perpetuate the system. This is now how our elites and politicians, they pick their best men. Because they put you in a situation where you must diminish yourself. Then they watch you. The more you diminish yourself, the more they come close to you and say, okay, yeah, that's our guy. That's our guy. Because when they call this thing corruption, I don't even, it's crime. They are criminals. What is the corruption? Armed robber too is corrupt now. Why would they call an armed robber? Not be now corrupting they do now. He's stealing people's money. At gun, but he's corrupt now. He's a corrupt human being. Thief now corrupt human being. You know understand? Everybody they do all this things, they be corrupt human beings. So corruption now, anybody when they corrupt are criminal. So they even in our universities. Let me go back to education. Our university grade is national treasure. All the lecturers we put in our universities, they are in charge of our national treasury. Because now those grades, they determine who be the good engineer, who be good lawyer, who be good doctor. But wait till they realize, saying that the best criminal for university, they come outside as best doctor. Don't get me wrong, best doctor they where they doing hard work. We go pass with in hard work. Few of us they no down normal, no doubt now. When I say she won't see everybody way, because the next thing with the leader KG and G's blog and all the bastard bloggers for Nigeria, that this way they will carry me that. Say she won't see everybody in Nigeria is a criminal with a degree. No. Definitely some people they come out will work hard for university. Some people they come out will work hard for school to get their grades. But there are also those, and there are many more than those, who come out with good grades but they buy them. Now all these bought grades, Now they create all our super professionals. So now you have graduated with a degree in banking and finance. You get you don't buy your 2.21 upper. You don't take and get work. Now you are working in this financial institution. But you self say you don't know the thing where you they do. Because you learn now. You really throughout your university days. Now runs you woman na runs you they do. Man na party and forward. You take your 1 second read nada. Now where you take come up for school, way now you take come up for school. So tell me now, how can such person stand for what is right? And let me tell you, your Ogagon is a product of this system. So instead they watch you. He no say now like you be. He no enter that position. They hear me? He no enter that position of Oga. Because he know what thing they do there. He enter around by making sure say, he kiss the right ass. Kiss the right ass. All of them. So all of them sit down there. So you everybody there, and that's the system. That's the system. We start from our education in the higher institutions. And thank you, Peace Eddie. For even our president no fit produce in WAEC results. Now to come to people like Omotolani Beatrice. I think we are all aware of our predicament. No, we are not all aware of our predicament. First of all, say possible solutions. Now, when people say this thing about solution, and they always like to break which are they talk about them. We have been giving solutions to the problem of Africa since the days of Kwame Nkrumah. We have been giving solutions to the predicament of African people since the days of Nkrumah. Since the days of my father, Fumilayo, Frantz Fanon, Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, Steve Biko, Amilcar Cabral, Robert Mugabe, all these people, they don't give you the solution, tire. But you are easily distracted by the system. That's why I must demystify it. I must go to the root of it so you can see where you are participating and see whether you feel remove yourself or not. To see if you can remove yourself, you must demystify. I tell people all the time, I say, if you're a young person in Nigeria and you're not part of any kind of political organization, you are a part of the problem. People would rather spend hours watching TV, hours going to party, and to go to that party, hours in traffic, risking their lives. Because as soon as we leave our house, even inside our house in this Lagos, we are not safe. Talk more when you now go outside. Every moment we step out as Lagosians, you put your life at immense risk. We all know this. Abi, do you have to be struggling before container fall on your head on the street of Lagos? Do you have to be struggling before tanker explode and kill you in the street of Lagos? Downfall, somersault, kill everybody. Anything can happen to you on the street of Lagos. Bullet, boy, anything. But we go out For, you know, we risk it for what? We risk it every week for salary, we risk it ahead. But we don't take our time. For us to be free, for us to gain what we want, we must become deliberate. We must become deliberate. If their own political party will not take you, start your own. Call your friends together. Form book clubs. We must re-educate ourselves. It is important for us to change our situation in this country, in our continent. We no fit just allow chance. It can't happen by chance. You know why it no fit happen by chance? Because our oppressors are not leaving things to chance. If to say our oppressors, they leave things to chance, then trust me, as we are talking now, they are in a meeting. They are meeting. They are planning, strategizing how to oppress you more. The only solution to African people in this situation is to politically organize ourselves outside of them. Case closed. If you do not politically organize yourselves, that's the only the solution is organization. Organize yourselves, become part of something political. But you all don't want to do that. You want to keep up with the Kardashians. That's what is important. You want to keep up with the Kardashians, all your reality shows, and you don't understand that it is your oppressors that pay for this, bringing me to another part of the system. Uncle Femi Falana said he is wishing that more Nigerian young people participate in our elections as they participate in Big Brother. He said he wishes that. So I now replied, I said, the money that his friends spent on Big Brother to entice the youths, if they spend that kind of money to educate the youth on the importance of political participation, the youth will engage. Because there will be a show, a political Big Brother. You see, there is this social Big Brother, and you know, even social, this consume, I don't even understand, it's antisocial in a way. To me, Big Brother is an antisocial experiment. It's not really a social experiment. You understand? It is actually an anti-social experiment. But that's the story for another day. You understand? If, as we get this Big Brother, imagine if there was another show where young people, the most brilliant of Nigeria, that in a year, in fact, let's put this out there. All the bloggers, share this part. Let's ask for sponsorship. Let's create a program, right, that will give 100 million to the winner too. But this time, it is the most brilliant, the people will get the highest grade for all Nigerian universities. All our 30, how many university? 36 federal university, 30 something state, all maybe 100 top universities in Nigeria. We bring all their best graduating students, we put them in the house. And every week or every game, they solve one of the problems. 1 week we say transportation problem, all this traffic in Nigeria. What is their, they all debate, everybody come up with their idea, and then they present the idea to the Big Brother. The best idea, we vote for the best idea. We do another one, we do health. You know, we do all those kind of things. And they come up with ideas, we as the people, we vote for these ideas for the best. And the one that comes up with the most best ideas, you know, we'll group them engineers. In fact, we'll even take boys from street. Let's not make it elitist. Street and school. People will get away surgery for street because not everybody will go school, now no book. Not be only book brain, now be brain. You don't understand? Not be only book brain, be brain. Street brain self is brain, is necessary. So let's put the people in the street. The boys will surgery pass. Let's say we'll do their own entry. We'll find a way to test them. So now we are inside this house with the best young minds in Nigeria. And we are voting for them to come up with the best ideas to solve our problem. If they put money behind this one too, it will increase political participation. You understand me? It is not only about, say, we as people, we engage something. How do we promote that thing? I'll use myself as example here. I'll use myself as example. If I take my album to radio station, all the radio people, they love me. I don't see any hate or beef. Oh, Seun, we love the project, we love the music, and they go play my music. The day where I go there, go drop am, maybe they go play am again, play am sometimes. But it's difficult for you to hear radio people talking, say, hey, Seun Kuti, man, listen to that guy, man. Seun Kuti is a G, man. We love him, man. Shout out, he's doing things. You hardly hear that. You understand? Because it's not only about putting the thing, now waiting you push, now people will really pay attention. You understand? So when Nigerian politicians even create, sometimes they'll come, even when they create things for young people, they will never advertise it. The way they will advertise those things, where they won't lead you astray. You understand? It is the promotion, the advertisement. You understand what I tell you? As we did ready for Nigeria, there are many programs, federal program, state program, to benefit young people, like, you know, even though not tokenism, you know, all these, there are programs. If you engage, you will find that there are lots of programs where they share money for their supporters, but they don't allow them. They don't promote them. Look at the whole of Lagos. It's full of hotel and nightclub. All these people, when they build all these hotel and nightclub, some of them get 8 hotel, 10 hotel. But they don't go build library. They don't go build youth development centers, job creation centers. You don't understand? So there are so many other ways that people can invest their money for the betterment of Nigeria. Now, don't get me twisted. I'm not saying you when they say spare parts, where go carry money, go whatever is your. I'm talking of those people controlling our commonwealth. This is what is called demystifying the system. When building collapsed for Ikoyi, suddenly all the file about that building disappear. That is the system at work. That's how you will know, say that building is part of your commonwealth, because they don't want to make the name come out. You'll find out, say, your money there inside. This is what I'm saying. If we go look deep, because everybody when they make money from our lives, commonwealth. If you are making money from Nigerian land, Nigerian telecommunications, if you are making money from Nigerian oil, Nigerian education, you are making money from Nigerian natural minerals, be it tin, columbite, whatever it is, where we say, not be you bring and come, it belongs to everybody. You are making money from it. It is by license. It is by license. We, the Nigerian people, must give you license to operate, right? Nigerian people, please. This is why I hate all these bloggers. I cannot stand any blogger. They are all thieves. They are all little human beings. They are small. They are so small. You know, because they use them to capture your mind and give you and put dustbin inside your brain. And for that reason, in this generation, when this country, when people in this country eye open, those people will answer. Their generations will answer, because this is an immense crime. People will answer real questions in this country. Now, have you ever seen anybody, any journalist, investigate to the point? Investigate to the point where they expose the license agreements between Nigerian government, that is we the people, and any of these people making money from our commonwealth. Go and look at these license agreements. I have been exposed to a few, but I couldn't get copies for myself. In this license agreement, they have to invest it in our national development. The money is not their own only. That money, it is given, that opportunity is given to them on the premise that they understand that they have a national responsibility. But nobody talks about that. No journalists talk about that. When they were privatizing our diesel in 2003, 2004, 2005 under Obasanjo, when he was making all these boys diesel billionaires, it was that they were going to be building refineries in this country. Since that time, have you seen one refinery? built by these people, where is that part of the agreement? Where is that part of the agreement? Where are the schools, the roads, the infrastructure that is supposed to come out from this license agreement? Where is all this one? They don't even pay tax. Nobody need them to pay tax. Imagine me, they are charging me 1.5 in a year. Corona has not worked, so there has not been any tax to pay anybody. But the years I work, 1.5 million, 1.4 million tax. But you'll be hearing that the richest men in Nigeria are paying 10 million naira tax. They say only 20 Nigerians are paying 10 million naira tax. Only 20 Nigerians. So you mean that as me and I'm like this, the richest of Nigerians are only 20 times richer than me? Which kind of nonsense is that? Who is enforcing this? Who is enforcing this? This is the system we live under. And that is why I demystify it. I am not telling anybody how to spend their money. If it's your money, spend it. But if it's our own, my brother, you will do what is right with Amu. Me, I'm not a mugu now. You can't now dash me my money and be expecting me to be hailing you now. I always say it on my show, Mo le tori eran pe malum brother. For our non-Yoruba speaking Nigerian people here, that one mean say, I know it because of meat. I know it because of meat. They call Malu, my brother, my uncle. They call Malu brother. Hey, brother Malu, please, I want meat. I can't. I cannot. I cannot do it. It's impossible. So where we dey now? This is the system that we live under. And you see that game where I just explained to you now? It is the question that they give all these your favorites billions of naira a year to make you not ask. Let me repeat. This thing where I just tell you now is the reason why billions of naira is spent on all this distraction every year, so that nobody reminds you to ask. And those of us that ask are treated as pariahs. We are made to be the mad, crazy people. You understand? Many of the people who lead the youth to end SARS protests, that people got shot and they were in there, are the same people that were saying we should go to panel. Now panel don't close, nothing happened for them. No justice came out of that. What will we say now? Because if I remember when they tell them, I say end SARS not be slogan, end SARS not be movement. This one are political arrangement. That we must, if we want to fight as young people in Nigeria, we must fight to end oppression. Fight to end bad governance. We have wasted lives. See, let me tell you, since the days of Awolowo, Akintola, Nnamdi Azikiwe, and Balewa, Kaduna Nzogu, and what be that other Ife Ajuna, and all these motherfuckers. Let me tell you, those people, all of them, first of all, British train, Santos, they believe in their mind that they were better than us. Until today, all these politicians, they think that they are better than us. That they are human beings. It is them because they have all these endless resources to enter whiteness when they like. That they are better than us. That we are of no consequence. That they can do to you whatever they like. That you are not important in the grand scheme of things. This is their psyche. Don't you understand? That's why anybody can just come and raise an agenda that will waste the lives of Nigerian people. People will now die based on this agenda, and nothing will happen to anybody. Nothing will happen to anybody. People will just die. That's it. 143 buildings have collapsed in Lagos in the last 3 years. It ain't paper now. It ain't newspaper. People die. Nobody, even that one where the students where they are building collapsed, the school, nobody went to jail, nothing happens. This elite of Nigeria, they will just bring their agenda waste your life and they know nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. So billions of naira is being shared every week in Lagos, every week in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, so that you are not, you can never. They now use their newspaper to promote all these people as if they are one kind of special things. Use their media to promote them. If you think you are listening to a human being, you're somebody who gets sense. Now, it's a story. Let me tell you now. Story. Story. In this country where we are, Nigerians must insist, and I tell you now, if MOP is to do nothing at all, our only duty, I always tell everybody in MOP, this is the basis, the foundation of our manifesto. That in the moment of our goal, in the movement of the people, our goal is simple. We will change the relationship between the citizens of Nigeria, the political and business elite of Nigeria, and Nigerian resources. We will change that relationship. You see, all these so-called business moguls, the intellectuals, they will have to think up their wealth. Their wealth will have to come from inside their head. That you would think that you would take the land of Nigerian people and build houses on top that Nigerian people cannot afford is over. That you will grow food on the land of Nigerian people that you want to export abroad before Nigerian people eat is over. That you will take Nigerian crude oil, sell it and be enriching only your family, be building big houses all over the world and buying big car everywhere, while Nigerian people cannot afford transportation, cannot move on good road, cannot even refine their own petrol, is over. That is all we are here to change. Now, I'm not saying you that you are coming up with your wealth, because I want to see how many of them are truly coming up with this wealth. I always use these Paystack boys as an example because that thing hurt me. We have even the transfer of data to an international company, that some young boys can come up with an idea that is so successful in Nigeria, making so much money, that can be a world platform for us Nigeria to launch some kind of tech infrastructure that the world can respect. Instead of people to gather $100 million or $50 million and prevent those boys from selling it, to keep it local, give them money to develop whatever technology they need to develop to compete globally, you watch those boys sell it to a foreign company. And you now preach to us that that was progress. But that was progress. That Nigeria has created millionaires. That's the psyche. That's the system to prevent we as motherland people from competing with the world, so that they can extract us to death. They can exploit us to death. Imagine if Paystack became what's supposed to become, with companies in New York, in London, in Dubai, all over the world, opening, becoming a global force. How many Nigerians will be able to enter this company and do great things and get employment? But they watch them sell it, and they use their media to show us that that is something we should be proud of. All I'm saying is that anybody who is anything in this system are tapping into the commonwealth of Nigerians and using it for their own personal enrichment. That is all that this system is about. Our lecturers are tapping into our educational system and using our grades to enrich themselves. Our bankers are tapping into our financial systems and using our current manipulation of our currency to enrich themselves. Now, let me not even start with the pastors and the imams, because those ones are the worst ones. Come to tell me about some kind of power you have to manifest money. You know, Nigerians are going to church praying for success. Your pastor should pray so you can have money. When will you tell your pastor to pray so that naira can be one to one with the dollar? That is the miracle I want to see. That's the money I want you to pray for me. Don't pray so that some members of your church can be amassing wealth for themselves. Pray in your church so that the naira becomes stronger in value. Where is that miracle? Osibanjo is a pastor. Where is this miracle in our government? Can't Osibanjo lay hands on Buhari on our behalf? Okay, Buhari is a Muslim. No, Osibanjo, please lay hands on the naira. Lay hands on the naira, Osibanjo. Lay this your so-called powerful religious pastor. Lay it on our. Let us see, because since you have been there now, naira has dropped by over 200%. Where is your miracle? Because all this miracle people keep doing, that does not translate to any kind of national development. What is up with that? What is up with that? Osibanjo, can you please help us lay hands on our naira? Because under you, I'm seeing this naira, it needs a miracle. It needs prayers. But you cannot pray for the naira. But Ashibolowo can pray for somebody, lay hands for somebody that is building a building that wants to collapse and kill scores of people. Yes. Is that not the system? Is that not the system? And Nigerian people, as you can see, the whole building collapse is over. What's happening about it? What are we saying now about it again? I'm not even saying anything about it in the news. Watch. The news is not talking about it anymore. They are not following up. They say report lost. Which journalist has gone to follow up to find that report where they say it lost? Where is this building collapse news in the news? I didn't see it in the news yesterday again. They don't disappear now because they say I go forget. Once they don't shake hands for now, I go forget. They go forget. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what is going on, but me, I will demystify the system for you so that we can know what to do. I don't know what is going on in their own heads. I don't know what they are doing. But I know what we need to do. Because people are completely, everybody goes, they give reason. But let me tell you guys, we know feeds. They give all these fake reasons for these people. This system is broken. Everybody praying for miracle. Miracle up and down. But we're not seeing it. They want me and you to believe that miracle is somebody's personal achievement. Somebody makes something for himself. God will bless them. When will God bless our country? Our country is getting worse by the day. Not one problem solved. Not one problem. Please lay hands on the naira. Vice President Yemi Osibanjo, please lay hands on the naira. I need to feel this your power. This your pastoral energy. Just please, if anybody can do it, we have a pastor, for Christ's sakes. Pastor, therefore inside the government. VP, second in command. My country people, anyway, I know that small, you see, yeah, so we don't blow TV, say Oyedepo should lay hands on Sango-Ota road. How people pass that road to go to that church? And you cannot find 2 hours every week to organize yourself politically to repair that road. Even for the love of your God. I always say to people, say, Nigerians don't love God. They just fear hell and need money. This is the reason why the pastors, they see customer. It is not about the love of God. Nigerians have no business about the love of God. Because love of God means love of self, love of your neighbor, love of your surroundings. Anybody? Nigerians are afraid of hell. 1. And 2, we need money. And we are told that that place, you can get the 2. So that's why we are there. Because if you truly love God, and you are passing that kind of road every day, leading you to the, won't you want the road leading to the house of the Lord? The road leading to the house of the Lord. Won't you want it to be smooth? Won't you want it to be tidy? Won't you want it to be shiny? Won't you want it to be glistening in the sun? Won't you want it to be marked? Won't you want it to have traffic light? Won't you want it to be the best road in Nigeria, leading to the house of the Lord? Oh, somebody, fix this road. All the potholes, close it, excavate it. I'm in the spirit. Break. Nigeria don't make me crazy. Nigeria don't make me crazy. I'm sorry. Such prayers are not heard. Such prayers are not heard from the house of the Lord. Every day they are building new church. Build the road. Now when you tell church to build road, they're going to hear things like, say, government don't agree, make private citizens build road. Now lie. I know one name, but I get one friend. When he move going area, the road no good. He do the road reaching house. people get bad mind in a good way. Here they do the road, he stop for a gate. I want your color. Not the only Christians, Muslims too are on this table. You are not allowed to walk by any road. You are not inshallah any electricity. I've been to the north too. You understand? So don't laugh at the Christians too much. So that's the system. This system is all about distracting you from facing your destiny. And they tell you, Nigerian people, you know how they go round and round as young people? All we can do is just consume. We are not making name. We are not doing great things like our fathers before us. We are not making history. You know, we are only making history. The only history we are making now. You know, funny enough, in the 60s and 70s, the history that was being made was a history developing African people. African people were making history for doing things for African people. Now we are making history for achieving things for white people. We are going to be first in white institutions all over the world. You understand? But nobody is doing any historical thing for our country. Nobody is making history in the name of our country's development. We are making history for our own personal development in Western institutions. This is quite damaging. It's damaging to our psyche. It's damaging to our national development. It's damaging to our personal development. Where's the pocket? The pocket is European banks, American banks. Now let me tell you, all these your banks in Nigeria, you think they are African, you think they are owned by Nigerians? No. You know, when you hear foreign investment, where do you think this money, this foreign, what do you think it means? They are owning our banks. Go back. Remember when Access Bank bought Diamond Bank? Please go back and investigate that whole story. When Herbert Wigwe made the decision to rescue Diamond Bank, you see, That for me, in a capitalist sense, at least African capitalists are build themselves out. He saw an African bank going under, and this African bank tried to save this other African bank from going under. So they bought Diamond Bank. The Carlyle Group, this company that spearheaded Iraq war with the Bush and the Saudi family, racist company in America, they issued a statement condemning the merger because their money, they were owners in the bank of Access Bank too. That's how I knew that Carlyle Group had investment in Access Bank in Nigeria. That even as we are in Nigeria trying to do our own business, European racists are not happy. And they are also benefiting. And that's how they are in all our banks. It's Access Bank own I found. I'm sure if you go and look at First Bank, look at any bank, Eco Bank, GT Bank, all of them will have the same kind of foreign money controlling their decisions there. So you'll not be finding out why our banks are so callous to us as African people. Why they'll be charging us things like stamp duty, text message, card maintenance, all these callous fees. Because they don't need this money to run these banks. These banks already make mad profits from their traditional instruments of trade. They make mad profits, but they still start taking the little pennies from us. You'll be wondering, why are these people like, are they not Africans? They are not. They're satisfying the interest requirement of their foreign investors, the shareholders, who are now foreigners, demanding of them certain amounts that they must squeeze out of us. This is all that is going on in our system. So instead of our banks to be competing with Citibank, you'll be hearing them doing transfer through Citibank. You understand? So them they need Citibank endorsement to borrow internationally. So that's why you go all over the world. You see Bank of China in Chinese neighborhoods. You see Bank of India in India neighborhoods. All over England. People are there for England. I mean, only concerts when they go for England, Nigerian people, for America. Now they work now. I know now they hustle. Now they work die. And they see you now. So, when they see those neighborhoods, you see Bank of China in Chinese neighborhoods, Bank of India, all these countries, Deutsche Bank, HSBC, all their banks competing with all these banks, making sure that their own people in those places are getting access to the things that they need to move forward. Where is our own bank in our own neighborhoods? Where is the Bank of Nigeria in Peckham? In East London? The way we full Southeast, make one Nigerian bank, not there to operate for Nigerian people, to give them the money where they need, the loans where they need, to participate in that lucrative economy, to bring the profits home, at least the bank profit to come home, to develop our country. Where is that competition? It's inexistent. So young Nigerian people that have to make way over there have to be doing it by laundering money for our criminals here. You see how the system makes sure that everybody is locked in? Because the things that is supposed to be done will not be done. You will not be forced to look at the Malu, to bow down to the Malu for the meat that you deserve. Where are the mortgage loans for young people? Where are the mortgage loans for young people to leave their parents' houses and become independent? You can't live under a man's house and tell him not to tell you not to smoke igbo. If your father doesn't smoke igbo and you're smoking igbo in his house, you are a stupid person, You are a bastard. Because you should be listening. The man owns the house, one. Is your father, two. He said don't smoke igbo in his house. You should be smoking igbo in his house. Are you a bastard? You don't blame the man. That is how he wants to live his life. He deserves peace under his roof. It is you that should go and now look for where to stay. And for you to look for where to stay as a young person, you need loan all over the world. There's public housing with banking loan there to support you to move. But it doesn't exist. So you find young men, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 35, 36, 37, 40, still living in their father's houses. Come inside, Jare. Mr. Kebula Interior, you don't know road. Eze, Kebula dey outside. Go help me carry enter. He dey write me for my life, saying big gate. You know, we are living in our parents' houses, and that no matter how brilliant you are, that kind of situation, you know, diminishes your maturity. No, we couldn't say anything about it. I did here. That kind of thing diminishes your maturity. How you did? Oh, you really dabba now when you are still under your father's roof. Now you did there, you did under your back, don't let you. Mr. Dangote said, but they sell you 3,000, 4,000 naira bag of cement. How can you liberate without calling Malu brother? You must brother the Malu. I think that's what I should call this one instead of demystifying the system. Why we brother the Malu? Why we brother the Malu? That's what we need to work out. Anyway, so everybody in Nigeria is, my point that those people that control our society, you see, many people say, why are you not doing it with your own money? You know why? Because I don't make my money from your destiny. I am not appropriating your destiny into my pocket and then claiming that it is my own. There are men in this city. Shehu cannot decide things for this country. Whatever I'm thinking in my brain, I can only manifest it by asking for the people to support, making it known, creating organization. It's still far from being able to manifest. But you see, you guys will not compare me to those people who have the power to manifest these things but refuse to. Johnny with Kenneth says, bros, where our presidential candidate? I don't have presidential candidate for you. What I have for you is a political party. What is a presidential candidate? This is what I'm saying. You people are still believing you are looking for Messiah. When you talk presidential candidate, this is the talk of Messiah. You are looking for Messiahs. No, this is not a Messiah business. No Messiah can come and save Nigeria. It is only the people of Nigeria that can save Nigeria. So we need a mass movement. See, let me tell you, although they give you the story of Azikiwe and Awolowo and Ahmadu Bello, make you think that these three men fought for Nigeria independence. Give them a late pass. They will never teach you the true story of your independence. That the Europeans used Azikiwe, Awolowo, and Ahmadu Bello to hijack the independence movement. Those were their own boys. They used them to hijack. Nigerians themselves had already made colonialism ungovernable for the Europeans. The Europeans were already defeated by the people, from the Aba women's riot to the Abeokuta women's riot to the coal miners riot in Enugu to Pa Imodu. Go, Nigerian people, please go and research Pa Michael Imodu. Go and research who Pa Imodu is in your history. The first leader of our labor union in this country. You understand what I'm saying? The first leader of our labor union. 3 million workers went on strike at once in this country. Dropped their and refused to work for the colonialists. They were defeated. They had no way to move. We were going to collect our country back. And all these movements were Pan-Africanists. They were grounded in Pan-African ideals. Before their European trained people were now brought to the forefront. Oyibo now chose, Oh, okay, we'll have meeting. Let's have meeting. We'll have meeting with you. We pick this person, we pick this person, we pick this person. That's the same trick these people use for us today. Once we don't make the country hot for them, they'll pick this person, they'll pick this person, they'll pick this. Come and speak for the people. You said, we are a presidential candidate. Let him represent. Nobody can represent you except you. Before you choose anybody to go and talk for you, you and that person must have spoken before. Until those people have sat down with you to have a meeting to agree on what to be said in that place, don't ever allow anybody go and speak for you anywhere. But today, how many workers are willing to go on strike for the betterment of this country? This is the last part of this system. So in our chat, I don't lay down now. So to show you the reason, the way we won. We won because we the people fought. We wanted to win. We did not choose Nnamdi Azikiwe, and now you both choose them. Or you both choose them, or you pick from these people. These are the kind of people we want to discuss with. We don't want to discuss with the leader of the Aba Women's Riot. We don't want to discuss with the coal miners. We don't want to discuss with Pai Modu and all these great people. No, we don't want to do. These people they are ragamuffins. They are hoodlums. Let's pick from these our boys that we have trained. The educated elites. All they do here is to behave like the colonial masters. Go and look at the way Europeans were behaving to Africans, and look at the way the rich people behave to us too. The way they bounce them. Don't you understand? The way they bounce their fathers. All those their rich fathers, where they Akintala, they bounce them from all those their white only club. You know those white only club? They bounce them outside. They'll call anyone they allow inside, they take them as pride. Hey, I'm a member of Ikoyi Club. Hey, Ikoyi Club. Now they say they do to today for Ikoyi Club. Ikoyi Club. Hey, with the amount of pothole where they the road. Ikoyi Club. Your friend, the bank, they collect back from government. Now the bank, no, if they collect back from government, he never discussed with me before, and you know they give me money, and nobody gives me money. And I don't know, let me even come to that before I continue. What do I do now for Nigeria? Why nobody like to give me money? Is it because you people know I will do good things with the money? Is it because you know I will do good? Even my friends that have money. I have plenty of friends that have money. They still will not give me money. I don't know what I've done to everybody. Nobody. They will spend big money like this. I said, my guy, when they say, you don't need money. I don't understand. And they know I need money. Nigerian people start giving me money. In fact, don't give me direct. When you come to my next show at Shrine, I'll have donation basket. No, we have gotten to that point. I'll have a donation basket. After you pay the gate fee, somebody will come around. Come around to collect some money from all of you. Peace Life, thank you. I'll take the 2K. Nothing is too small. Jesus said they take 2K. So who am I? I will take that 2K. I beg, more than no do anyhow. The next show at the Shrine, everybody bring something for Sheung. In fact, that's the title of my next Shrine show. Bring something for Sheung. Not only am I collecting gate fee, people have to dash me money. Kilo share gongo. And then dash everybody low, and they exclude Sheung Nikon. Neke, make I tell you, not tell me to send accounts. Bring the bar so I can see how much you are dropping. And I can look you in the eye. To say, Neke, now this money you go drop. This playtime is over. Everybody bring money to my next show. When I no try rubbish. Yeah, so here we go. So when I tell you these things, I mean it from the point of say, all these people have created a system to perpetuate our suffering. And now until we as a people engage the system, trust me, they need you more than you need them. They cannot operate all their banks. They can't operate all their companies. We the workers, now we gonna get the power. And until you use that power to serve the people, Nigeria cannot change. We must find time. We have time. Find an hour or two. Let the bankers form a political organization in the banks. Let the engineers, the oil workers, the transport workers, everybody, the doctors, form a political organization. Decide for yourself that it's time for you to side with the Nigerian people. We cannot continue to live like this. We can't continue. And finally, let me tell you, and this message is even for black people all over the world. To be successful in this system is necessary. We must succeed against all odds. Don't diminish yourself. There is success in your destiny if you embrace your destiny. The only problem is we don't understand the destiny. We don't understand the destiny. Our destiny is not to be successful alone. Success is a tool for our ultimate destiny. We Africans must be successful so that we can liberate ourselves. Liberate our nation. We Africans want to be successful so that we can build nations. You see, they are selling it to you as be successful. So we become successful, we have all this money, and okay, since we are there, this is it, we have reached the final line. Let me eat, let me wear clothes, let me drive car, let me fuck. We've reached the end. But that's not the end. See, that's the game. To deceive you that that job you've been hoping for is the end goal. That money you have been looking for is the end goal. That opportunity is the end goal. No. That is the tool. The ancestors are finally giving you the tool. So you take that tool to do something. That's what I ask of all the rich people in all this elite I yab every day, both business and political. All this loot you are acquiring, you can't do anything with it. You must do something. And people blame the youth all the time. And like they tell you now, youth is just the reflection of society. Our youth are not our solution. Our youth are our reflection. When we look in the mirror, is how we look at our youth. If you want to know how your society is going, you look how your youth are behaving. That is how you know what's going on in your system. Do you understand me? So now what do we now need to do? It means that we professionals, we the elders, the elite, both business, they have to set better example, create better opportunities, create more positive platforms. If those things exist, trust me, many Nigerian youths will engage. You see, all those people say they be Agberu. If Nigeria created something for them to engage with politically and positively, they will engage with it instead of standing on the roadside. Trust me. If you can have people in Nigeria that are driving Kekemawa and Okada, people will engage. Trust me. Trust me. So let's not, before we blame the youth, let's look at those things that we are doing. What are we doing? We the Africans with means. What kind of example are we setting for them? What are we showing them that they can achieve? What are we achieving? All we are doing is buying things, owning. We want to own this, own and buy, own and buy. What do you want to build? Where is the legacy? We must build nation. Nigeria is not yet a nation. It's our task. That's our destiny. The ancestors are putting so much success. More success is in this generation of Africans, or rather, I don't like saying generation, because generation can only be counted when you are operating on your own time. You understand? Not when you are wasting away. Then you'll be counting generation after. We are just wasting time. You know, generations accomplish things. Oh, this generation, babe, accomplishment. Then the next generation stands on the shoulder of that generation's accomplishment. That's how you stack generations. No, not by wasting away. We are wasting time. Because the duty of this generation, what we are the duty of these people of this time, we the people of this time, our duty. Why the ancestors have blessed us in this time with more wealth than ever before. In this system, because you know, in the old system when we were sovereign, Africans had more wealth than anybody has seen before in their life. But in this system that we have been existing another 400 years, no group of Africans have ever had the kind of money that we have now collectively. And that money is for us to build nations, to build our own institutions that understand African people. Because obviously this Western financial institution doesn't understand the needs of African people. So African people need independent financial institutions. African people should be investing in that, so that we African people can engage with those financial institutions to get those things that we need. There are many people that exist in African realities today that don't exist in Western or Arabic realities. So we cannot expect their financial institutions to cater for such things. So that's it. The last thing is us embracing our destiny, which is to build this nation. That our acts, our decisions, and those things that we desire. You know, as I said, me, I'm not a moral police. I don't believe in morality. You know, as a black man, how you get there doesn't really matter to me. Except you are getting there by destroying the life of African people. Then that one matters to me. That one matters to me. You understand? That matters to me. But as long as you are trying to make it, raise your head, part of oppression, you're not an oppressor. Whatever you do to get out of oppression doesn't matter to me. What matters is what you now do when you get out. Do you think it is over? Do you think because you have escaped oppression, things now is done? No, oppression is still chasing you. You escape now, it can still catch you tomorrow. So although you escape with claws, now you have escaped, you must train yourself to fight it. Not to run away from it forever, as our what's it called, keep teaching us to do. Our business people, you know. So anyway, thank you very much for listening to this live today. I hope you have joined me. My next show for sure at the end of the month, and we'll start the publicity this week. Please come out and support me and the Egypt band. We need your money. Bye.